Hello everyone and welcome to another very beautiful chess game of Paul Morphy. And in this chess game, Paul Morphy's opponent is James McConnell, his close friend. And Paul Morphy is playing with the white pieces. And this game was played in New Orleans in 1858. So Paul Morphy surrendered one of his knights. He is playing with the knight odds. And Paul Morphy starts the game with playing e4. e5, knight to f3, knight to c6, bishop to c4, bishop to c5, b4, the Evans gambit. So McConnell is accepting the gambit, bishop takes on b4, c3, bishop to c5, and Paul Morphy castled. d6, d4, e takes on d4, c takes on d4, attacking the bishop, bishop to b6, d5, attacking the knight, knight to e5, knight takes knight, d takes on e5, bishop to b2, queen to e7, and Paul Morphy played queen to b3, knight to f6, king to h1, unpinning the pawn, knight to g4, and James McConnell is putting more pressure on f2. Paul Morphy played queen to g3, and in this position the better move was castling. So that's one of the general rules of the chess. You have to castle before playing 10 moves, or maybe sometimes you can play 50 moves, but after all, sooner or later you have to castle. But in this position McConnell didn't castle, and he played queen to c5. And for an amateur player, at first it looks like a logical move. So in this position black is attacking the bishop and also attacking on f2. So there is a double threat in this position. Well, Paul Morphy is defending the bishop, bishop to b3. But then McConnell captures the pawn, knight takes on f2, that's check. And Paul Morphy is losing the rook, rook takes on f2, queen takes on f2. Amazing. Well, in this position Paul Morphy is a rook and 2 extra pawns down. And materially black is much better. And before forgetting, after knight takes on f2, if let's say king to g1, then knight takes on e4, that's check, king to h1, and then knight takes queen. And in this position even the legendary Paul Morphy would not be able to win the game after this position, losing the queen. Or maybe he can, who knows. He is an unbelievable player. But seriously, in this position, this is completely dead for white. So this is why Paul Morphy captured the knight, and then queen takes on f2. And after queen takes on f2, it's white to move, and Paul Morphy saw the winning line. So Paul Morphy played queen takes on e5. Check. We have king to d8. If king to f8, bishop to a3. If bishop to c5, queen takes on c7, and this is losing for black. If something like bishop takes on a3, queen to d8, checkmate. If c5, then en passant, d takes on c6, that's check. Let's say king to g8, queen to e8, that's losing for black, that's checkmate. So after queen takes on e5, McConnell played king to d8, and then queen takes on g7, attacking the rook, rook to e8. Paul Morphy played bishop to f6, check, king to d7, and then Paul Morphy captured the f-pawn with the queen, check, king to d6, what else? And then Paul Morphy played e5. That's check again, not capturing the rook, and this is more deadly for black. So in this position, black can play 2 possible moves. One move is king to c5, and the other move is rook takes pawn. And both different scenarios is losing for black. Well, McConnell captured the pawn, rook takes on e5. And after this move, Paul Morphy played a move and McConnell resigned. Paul Morphy played queen to f8. And McConnell had enough and he resigned. And after this move, there is only two moves left for black. One possible continuation is king to d7, then queen to d8, and that's checkmate. And the other possible continuation is rook to e7, and then queen takes rook, and this is also checkmate. So whatever black does, black is getting checkmated, there is no defense. After queen to f8. And another very elegant and a very beautiful chess game by Paul Morphy. What a legend. So I hope you have enjoyed watching this video, and I hope to see you next time. Take care.